Welcome back to Morning at NTV, and we are having a very interesting discussion today. It's on sexual harassment and sexual abuse. Quite sensitive, but before we get into that with Andrew's segment On the Ground, Omuntua 1C, we have your comments on social media about the first segment that we had on the news stories. And at Ashevo IMAC says, police app is so cool, that the police app is actually so cool, and if people in villages can't access it, then it will be taught to officers at the villages police stations, so they can actually teach the villages. I think that's a good comment. Thank you so much for that comment. And I think what we'll do here at Morning at NTV, maybe we can try and sort out for this police to actually come on studio and show us how that app actually operates. We are on that, don't you worry. And the other comment is on today's topic, and at Private Anthony says, ladies should know when to dress, how to dress, and where this is at, like dressing for the occasion. It's a sensitive topic, and I'm happy that you're having this discussion today. So keep your comments coming. The hashtag is Morning at NTV, and keep engaging with us. We'll be happy to comment those and to highlight those on the show. But I have Andrew on standby. Andrew?
Thank you, Mala. Well, the whole issue down here, it's a little more different. When you talk about sexual harassment or sexual assault down here, it is more complex, and it is turning to what they call the new code among the people down here. We have the girls who actually take around food to different offices, different stalls, different workplaces. But these girls are always tapped on the butt or on the boobs, and some guys go as far as fondling them, which is something not right. So today in the market here, I'm going to be talking to a couple of them as they are telling us what is the experience. Have they tried to engage it? What levels have they taken of engagement with regards to leadership, and how are they actually going to handle it? But today I'm going to start with a very beautiful lady. She's called Nawide. She has a very good story to talk about, and she's here this early morning, and we're going to be talking to her, and we see what's her story like. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm okay, how are you?
I'm fine. What's your name?
Namwanje Shakira.
Namwanje Shakira.
Yes.
All right. It's an honor for starters to have you on TV this early morning. We're talking about sexual assault. Have you ever assaulted someone sexually?
No.
Have you been assaulted?
Yes.
What did you do about it?
And at first I kept silent about it, but after a while, I developed the courage, since the person that had abused me had passed on. So that gave me a little bit of courage, and I opened up, told my big sister, and from there I was helped. I went to hospital and I sought medical attention, checkup, and counseling and those.
When you talk about medical checkup, when you talk about you talking to your big sister, your elder sister, what was the story like? Someone who did this was closer to you. Was it your dad? Was it your grandfather? Was it your uncle? What happened?
The person that abused me was a family friend, so he was close. He was more of my uncle. Okay. So I used to refer him as my uncle because he was almost family. I used to see him almost every day, and he would come over. He was free with everyone, so he was my uncle in one way or the other. Yeah. His son abused me at the age of 8 years old in Austin.
So, what we're understanding here, Winfred, right? No, Shakira. Shakira was abused at the age of 8. She was assaulted, and because the assault was not taken in the real time, like she didn't report in real time, and the parents didn't take care about it in real time, it went into something bigger, right?
So, because I didn't talk, I didn't seek help immediately. When they later took me to the hospital, that's when they realized that the person that abused me not only abused me, but also infected me with HIV.
Oh. We'll take a pause there. He infected you with HIV and AIDS. Before we go fast forward, Did he threaten you? Why did you keep quiet? Were you too young? Was he giving you sweets? Like, what really happened? Because I'm sure, yes, he was your uncle, but you had someone really closer to you.
Now, the reason as to why I did not talk about it was, one, I was very young. So even if I wanted to talk about it, I did not know how to talk about it or what exactly to say happened. I didn't even know how to describe it to anyone. And then on top of that, he threatened my life. So because of the fright and everything, I did not talk. I did not tell anyone.
This is quite a very... it's a tight moment for me. Some guy infected Shakira here, assaulted her. She could not talk about it because she was young. She didn't know how best to address it. And subsequently, she was infected with the HIV and AIDS. Okay, the guy passed on, but I mean, the damage is still profound. We all have our kids. They always go for holidays. They are now in holidays. They are maybe at Uncle Chiwa, maybe at Uncle whoever it is. But do we know what these kids are going through? Have we taken time to talk to them about it? So, Shakira, when you came out tall and you started to talk about it, what was the feel like? Did family support you? Did they castigate you? Did they stigmatize you?
At first it was scary, most especially for my mom, because I thought about how society is going to take her or how they're going to see her or they're going to see her as a failed parent. But I believe that if I talk about my story, then some other parent or some other child is going to relate to it. And if they're silent, they might speak up. So if a parent has not been so much engaged in what their children are doing, or they are off for holidays, if they do not engage, if they listen to my story, then they think twice. They'll be like, oh, maybe I should talk to my daughter about what happened over the holidays. So the reason as to why I speak out is for others to relate and hopefully save lives.
Wow. There you go. Strong Shakira here. She is such a strong woman. Oh my God, that is such a touching. I'm coming back to you. I'm not done with you. Well, there we have it. Now that we are in, Muhammad, ma'am, kankutawanyeko tunyumye mukono katona katusembere wananti kayinzo kaliro mama jebali
kale sebo naye jebali
bakuyitani mama
bampita mama abudu mama abudu
mwebali kola
sebo
naye abaana bemukozesa bana batambuze mere wali owuliddeko nti babakwatirira mu ngeri etali ntuufu
esebo nali kibuliddeko
gwe n'okikola kugamba wayogera n'abaalabu bakolawo ki
nabagambako nti abantu abo babegendereze olumu baba balina kye banoonya wadde baba banoonya bakasitoma naye ate bateekengamu amagezi nga banoonyanga abakasitoma gye bali.
Olowooza ki kisinze kugamba okubeera nga kikuma omuliro mu kintu kino kuba abaana abo mbalaba engeri gye batambulamu, engeri gye boogeramu, engeri gye batuleetera emmere gye tukolera sikitegera butegeezi
abaana abo kababe baba banoonya bakasitoma ekikulu kati oli wamulimbalimba kati abamubagani baganda abamu bangu abawala kakati yagenda namuli namukwana namugatira emmere ate olumalumu eteme natandika omukwana malumutwala ate namukozesa ebintu ebitali ekitali kituufu bwe batyo.
Tulinawo n'abakyala mummwe abafumba emmere kugamba agezaako okutunuulira ensonga zino nti kangeze nti omwana bamukwatiridde bubi najja n'akulopera maama abudu n'otwala ensonga eno wannaabakyala oyo
n'abakyala waali era bwebaba nga baleesa ensonga ezira abazikolako tulina n'akakiiko akatutwala muno wadimiini.
Poliisi erina engeri gye badduukirako ensonga eno?
Poliisi nyangu nnyo tugiyina wali eri ejja netudduukirira bwebaba nga waliwo obuzibu bwonna.
Naye nga gwe kino ekikolwa kyonna on a whole gw'okyogerako kyera n'abasajja abayisa mu mbeera eno bagamba osuubira bandikoze batya?
Abasajja bakola ekikola kibi. Omuwala waba amukwanye kale kituufu n'aba nga mukwano gwe naye ate n'atamukozesa bintu bikyamu. Tetugaana kubeera omuwala batambulira mu kukemebwa. Batambulira mu kukemebwa kubeera tasobola kukola ki kutambula n'abula nga agenza okunoonya abali emmere ne batamukwanirayo kasaba ng'alabika bulungi era baba balina omukwana. Naye kyetukubiriza abawala baffe beegendereze mu bantu be bakoleramu. Magezi nze gembawa kwegendereza abasajja we bakoleramu batwalira emmere bazibu si bangu.
Well, there you have it. Mama Abudu abagambye, the men are hard. Maybe just for another viewer out there, Mama Abudu here, this is where actually we are today. Mama Abdu says that yes, there are these girls and they've been assaulted time and again, but there is a committee in the market here where we are, and there is a woman who is in charge of the ladies, and these issues are addressed. But she goes ahead and says that women in this kind of caliber and the kind of business, they're always advised to be a little more careful while dealing with these kind of men, because this is more like putting ghee next to the fire. So she says they need to be much more careful. They all, they work amongst temptations. Men are always touchy, but she advocates that they need to be a little more careful. Mala?
Andrew, I first need to salute Shakira.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a strong girl. She is quite a strong girl.
Oh,
having gone through that and still being able to speak up, and not just speak up, but be an advocate, to tell people this is actually happening. She was defiled at 8 years of age. I mean, 8 years. Andrew Chamagero, you have a son.
Eight is...
You have a son.
Yes,
Would you imagine your son being defiled at the young age he's at right now?
Whoever wants to try that has a death wish.
Yeah? And
but from what I'm gathering around...
Moving forward, Chamagero, I don't know, are these conversations that you start having with your child?
I think it all goes back to what parents do with their children. What is a relationship with our children? How often do we talk to our children? When we send our children for holidays, they've gone to a particular home. Have we taken trouble to ask them when they come back, how was the holiday? Who are you close to during the holidays? Because this could give you a rough sketch, who they spend more time with. And you start to talk to them about, because children have changed. We have a lot of digital appliances around us. Kids can say a lot of things. So I think the engagement needs to start at an early age. They get to know when someone touches you like this is assaulting. When someone talks to you like, whoa.
Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
Right. When someone talks to you about this is equal assaulting. So if we as parents have the conversation addressed at a much more earlier date, I think this will be much more rare.
And I'm happy that you've actually mentioned that at the market there is an association of some sort, a group of women who are responsible of telling this other young, women working in the market of how they can, the precautions to take to be careful not to have that happening to them.
Well, that is the beauty about it. But what I'm gathering from what I got from the men who don't wish to actually speak on camera, they are that these girls, time and again, they have actually... started it. They have ignited the fire. They wear very short dresses. So to the men here, they're like, these girls wear really skimpy outfits, really touchy outfits. They feel like, okay, this is a way to go. And just like she said, some of them use this to get more clients, to get more customers. And down the road, they get assaulted, and before they actually report, someone is actually pregnant and they're infected with HIV and AIDS.
So it's a blame game. Like, women are the ones who are igniting this thing. But do you actually think that it's actually that women are dressing skimpily? Is it an issue of the dress code of women? I don't know. Can you get some more views around? Are you possible? Maybe you can ask Mama. Is it that, does she feel that the young women in the market actually dress in a suggestive way?
Omukyala ali mu studio abadde abuuza nti siganye kino bwekiri naye ennyambala y'abaana bano olowooza si yeesinga obbateeka mu buzibu bwe buti nti omwana agenda n'ayambala kadresi yenna ne kamukwata atambula omubiri agunyeenya kagamba bosi be beeteekamu mbeera enzibu.
Kale muno omwaffe mu katale amateeka gaamu kati ngaffe abatunda emmere omwana ayambala kati n'asibako leesu n'ayambala ettaawo tebakkiriza kale ze engoye azambala nga baziggyiramu naye batuuka muno mu katale bazigyamu ne bambala engoye
ezikola obeera ne leesu
n'ettaawo n'ettaawo eryeru lwakuba ffe tunnabaditeekako tukyafumba
nditegeera erya white oba pink.
naye kakati okozi wano baba baddayo eka nga baba bamugambyeko wano kati wateeka obugoye bwobwo obumpi n'agenda abanje kati bwe buleetera ebyo sitaani nakola ki n'akema bwe buzibu obwabuze bwe.
Well, there you have it. Mala, she says it's not about the dress code. The rules that engage them here in the market is when you come to work, you take off your clothes you came with from home, then you wear the working clothes. Now the working clothes, you must wrap yourself with a lasso around, and you wear another attire that keeps you in shape.
Yes.
That you should not at any one time insinuate or kind of provoke someone to think about you sexually. But she says where the problem comes, when it comes to 5, before they go, they have to go back and get the money from their customers. Now they dress back the way they came in the morning. Now, if she was earlier in the day tempted to talk to a guy and the guy showed interest, now when she goes back with this kind of outfit, oh Lord, now that gets complex for the guys on the other side as well.
So actually sexual harassment occurs because of that factor as a contributing, aspect to sexual harassment in the marketplace?
Yeah.
Wow.
But let me talk to Shakira. Maybe she has a
Yes.
different approach to this. Shakira, do you at any one time attribute the dress code of women to sexual assault or the kids we have?
No. My belief is there should be no excuse for sexual violence. A man should not use the fact that Shakira is dressed in a short dress an excuse to assault me or to pull my hand or to, assault me because I'm dressed in a short dress. Society is changing. People are dressing differently. It is not an excuse. As a man who is raised well, people are even raping their kids. You can't tell me that I'm raping my child because she's putting on a short dress. You should have it in your mind that this is not my wife, this is not my girlfriend, this is someone I don't know or someone that is working for me. So dressing really to me should not be an excuse.
Well, Mala, there you have it from Shakira. She says dress code is a weak link, it's shallow, it's below the belt for someone to have that kind of perception.
Yeah, and I think I totally agree with Shakira. Chamagero, I don't know, when you were engaging with the men in the market before they told you that they cannot come on camera, what were their views, apart from the dress code bit of it? What were their views? What actually do they think that is the reason to sexual harassment? And for them, because I can imagine the men in the market are not just husbands, they're fathers, they're relatives to people, to females. What do they do about it when they come to learn that maybe, for example, man X learns that man B actually sexually harassed a lady? Do they take it upon themselves to hold these people accountable? What do they do to make the market a better place to live in and safe for the females that work there?
All right, I hear you. When I talked to the chairman who was earlier here, a gentleman who preferred not to be on camera, but his approach was they talked to a couple of these men, and men who have assaulted women and they have been brought to book. They are flashed from this department and maybe they can work anywhere else. It's how they're actually approaching to it. But on the flip side of it, I pick a leaf from what Shakira said. It's the upbringing. It's how people are groomed. As men, as parents, how do we groom our children? Do we groom our sons to be, the conservative, rigid kind of men who don't actually change their attitude? Do we groom men who look at women as sex gadgets on a daily? Like she walks around and they're like, whoa, damn! Do we look at them that way? Or do we look at them as professional people we work with, as our peers? Do we look at them as a supportive structure that can help uplift society as a whole?
And Chamagero, when you spoke to the men's representative in the market, they say they actually bring to book some of these men that are caught in the act of not just harassing but abusing these ladies. So if they bring them to book, are these people off free, still walking free and having their lives? Or what procedures have been taken to make sure that, they've been taken to book and something is actually being done to make them pay for their wrong acts? Do they follow up?
You see, just having a stall where we are, it's a blessing. It's not easy. Like someone telling you you've lost this stall, look for another stall elsewhere in this market, that's punishment enough to them. They're like, we can't have someone of this kind of character and beatitudes in the market. So
But
you go to any other place.
But Chamagero, don't you think that's not enough? Because this person will, lose his stall in that market, go into another different market, and still perpetrate the same crimes. Don't you think something more has to be done on the ground to make sure that our women who are fending for their families on a day-to-day basis actually get a protection?
Yes. I agree. But from the look of things here is that the chairmen have a rapport. So if I'm sending you from this and I'm sending you to another one where I'm sure there is a one Musisi who is the chairman, I'll tell him that, by the way, this gentleman is not good. He has A behavior, B behavior. You need to really watch out about his behaviors. So I think it's the synergy of communication between the leadership of the markets. But from the way things look, men here seem to take it a little lighter. They're like,
Yes, Chamagero? I think we've lost Chamagero. That's a sensitive discussion that we are having today. Sexual harassment and sexual abuse. It's actually happening in the informal sector. Chamagero, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Is it possible for you to get back to Shakira? I need to get to understand where she gets her strength, her source of strength. Because I can imagine she was defiled, and as a result of that, she was infected with HIV and AIDS. How did she, like, wake up out of that kind of, environment where she feels, I'm all down, all this has happened to me, I don't have a life to live, to being this person who is so strong and an advocate for these issues? Where does she get her strength from?
Shakila, back in studios, Mala is wondering, how did you get the strength? And you now as a champion, you're advocating for this, that people need to know about it. Where did you get the strength? Where did you get this kind of iota? You're like, let me just go out and just blow this.
I think the fact that he had gone, like he was no more, I was no longer scared. And then at school I had learnt about sexuality, so I knew how to say or what to say exactly, because by then I was older. I was about like 5 years older than that time. So, and when I told my parents, my sister, I was helped immediately. I got counseling, I got medical help. So from that, the constant counseling and support from my family, from my counselors, it gave me the courage to move on. And as I moved on, I realized, like, if Shakira, who has gone to school, who has people around me, I found it hard to cope with the trauma. How about those girls that don't have anyone? They're staying with their step parents, staying with uncles, staying in the village where they don't have anyone to talk to. They need someone. So that is what pushed me to use my story for them to relate, because they are scared. I was scared. They are scared because this is a person who is paying their school fees, feeding them and all that stuff. So when they listen to me and they want to talk to me because they can relate to me, that is very rewarding.
Wow. There you had it.
Wow, that's Shakira. I mean, I need
She's
to find you, I need to hug you and salute you. And Shakira, maybe you can give us a real picture on ground when you meet with these, children who've been defiled, because then you relate more to that age group. What are their fears apart from, fine, I'm living with my uncle, my parents are not there. This uncle is the one who feeds me. He's the one who pays for my school fees. What are their fears? And I know, Shakira, you're under a foundation that is dealing with these things. What then steps do you take to ensure that they wake up and something is being done? I don't know. How do you handle it when you get these cases where children are being defiled as a result of them being afraid that some, benefits are going to be cut off? What is the real picture when you go on ground?
Okay, what is the real picture when you get on ground and you're talking to these kids, and what are their fears besides them having someone playing their tuition?
Most of their fears is, they always tell me, like, okay, you want us to speak out, but then who are we supposed to tell? Because the people that they're supposed to tell, in most cases, they are the abusers.
Yeah.
So that is their most fear. And then most of the time, society even protects these people that are actually abusing them with those beliefs of someone is bewitched, or how can you report your father? All those mentalities keep them locked up and not talking about it. So they are scared to talk about it. And if you don't know what is happening, then you can't help.
Wow. Well, Mala, this is, I don't know how best to term it, but it's overwhelming. I mean, the would-be defenders are they are the real oppressors, and they're suppressing the girl child and the boy child out there. Like she said, they don't know who to report to, because the would-be person to report to is the very person, you know, assaulting them.
Yes, it's a family friend, a relative, you know, someone who is in charge of taking care of them on a day-to-day basis. I totally agree, Chamagero. And we are going on a short break, but when we return, we'll be having the CEO of FIDA, Irene Ovonji, to, you know, speak more about this and tell us how then do we go about it. It's not just about the children, but even us, grown-up women, we are abused on a day-to-day basis. Not just abuse, because it actually starts from sexual harassment. How do we go about it, and what are the solutions? So stay with us. We'll be back after this short break.